Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes.
Without.
And let's get right to the news.
Okay, we're going to start out with some Andor news. Eben Moss Breckinridge talks joining Star Wars and working with Tony Gilroy. So this actor, Eben Moss Breckinridge, spoke with The Playlist discussing joining the Star Wars universe. For those who are unfamiliar with the name, he was in Girls and The Bear. He is an actor from Val's Aldhani squad. His name is Marvel Skeen. He's the one that calls Cassian out, who doesn't believe, trust.
Spoilers, but yeah. He's the
doesn't
one who's got the
trust him in the group.
tattoos.
The one with the tattoos.
Yes.
The axe and stuff.
Yes. Well.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, but it's actually a little surprising to me, apparently he was kept in the dark about any story scenes that his character was not involved in.
I think that's pretty common these days, isn't it? You only get the part of the script that you're involved in?
That would drive me nuts. You know how I am. I have to know. The whole story. You gotta tell me. Even if I'm reading a book and it's not a very good book, I'm still gonna read it because I want to know how they finished this garbage up. I'm that person.
You are that person. I know there's many books
know.
you're reading. I'm like, why are you reading that? You said you didn't like it. I have to know how it ends anyway.
Right, because you wonder.
I'm not that
how
person.
did you manage to finish this out?
I can stop in the middle of if it's really bad, I can stop in the middle of a book.
Well, in the interview he did go on to talk kind of about why he decided to even join the show. He said, "That's all it was for me. It was effing Tony Gilroy, right? I mean, this is the man right there. That's even, way more than Star Wars. I was there for that dude. I mean, you've seen it, so you know. We were trying to make something more real, more serious. I mean, you probably know way more than me because I haven't even seen the show or read the first 3 scripts. I think my character shows up in episode 4. Let me try to put myself back there, dude. It was a while ago, and it was so crazy. It was weird. I mean, I was born in 1977. Those early Star Wars films are more complex, I think. Even though it's been a while, and, I'd like to think I've graduated beyond all this, I'm more sophisticated. I'm a more cynical dude. But my first day on set, there are people pointing to the sky, there's a moon there, and there are these 3 planets there. And then I have these lines to say, and I'm like, oh man, this is a lot. This is kind of crazy. And I have to talk about parsecs and things like that, and something triggers in my childhood, It was a surprisingly profound and scary little moment there. I got a little choked up, but I don't know what else I can say about our Star Wars. So he joined it for the realism that Tony Gilroy would provide. And then when it sounds so interesting that it hit him that this is Star Wars.
I liked your reading of the quotes. You tried to give the same enthusiasm I think he was initially giving you. Because there was a lot of oh man, it was awesome. It was, I'm sure he sounded more excited, but you tried, so. But no, I mean, it's cool that in 77, that's the same year a certain Thor Skywalker was born.
Then he was asked about the series' huge emotional stakes and how the Empire versus Rebel conflict is being approached in a new way. So he said, yeah, totally. It's about the politicization of, a nihilist kind of, right? I mean, Cassian, that is. But it's so compartmentalized, I don't really know so much beyond my stuff, which was just very straightforward. We're a group of radicals trying to, free their little corner of the universe. Take some money from the Empire, free this little goat and sheep planet, blow some stuff up. There's a direct connection between this and what kind of turns me on about this thing, chronologically. It's one of the more Star Wars because it takes us to Rogue One, which takes us to A New Hope. I think that is kind of how this works, yeah? So I kind of got into that feeling, like I'm a founding father or something, of this mythology. It's a nice way to look at it.
First of all, I do like that now we have goat and sheep planets to go along with desert planets and forest planets and ocean planets. It's a goat and sheep
planet, yeah.
It's a goat and sheep planet. But no, he's right. It is like a stepping stone. We're seeing, how first there was A New Hope, and then you kind of go backwards to Rogue One, and you go backwards again to Andor, and we're kind of backtracking to the beginning of, as I've said before, it all starts with, a couple people thinking they can make a difference, and then soon it's more people, the spark of the rebellion as we see in Rebels, right?
Right, and this is going to be a big hit to the Empire if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah, if it does.
On this planet. So, I mean, this could really help announce that the rebellion has started. I mean, if they get away with their plans.
Yeah. Assuming it ever actually kind of gets out there. I mean, we have Ezra's I do like the idea of Ezra's message in Rebels, trying to say, hey, there's people out there who aren't gonna take it anymore, essentially.
Right.
Not
And this
to be a
is one thing
twisted
that'll
sister.
just all feed into it, because this will probably get the Empire where they start talking about these guys as terrorists.
Yeah.
But Ezra's turning him into freedom fighters. He also shed some light on how Tony Gilroy went all in on the show, taking on a lot of work to make everything click and feel like Star Wars despite his unique angle. He says, and I have to just say, I'm kind of in awe of Tony. There was no writer's room. There was Tony going into his office, spending hours in there, and coming up with planets, different names of spaceships, crazy names for all sorts of weird different aliens that he would make up. I'm just so tickled by thinking about Tony's process of world building, going into his 8x10 office or hotel room somewhere with paper and pen, planets being formed in distant galaxies. I think that's just so awesome.
Well, that is really cool to hear, because I think, here we go again, talk about the sequels, but I think the problem with the sequels is nobody gave any thought to the backstory. I don't think, JJ, and especially Rian Johnson, who's admitted he's not a big fan of world building, I don't think they were sitting there trying to put the galaxy together. I think they were just trying to tell their story and not really thinking about the galaxy, if that makes sense.
Right, or it sounds like Tony Gilroy went through the full creative
Yeah.
process where he's
trying
inventing everything.
Yeah, he's trying to make it all make sense, and I'm assuming in that room he goes into, there's hopefully someone from Lucasfilm being we do have something like that already, Tony, and we call it this, and there's some kind of collaboration there that I'm assuming he's not just making up. Clearly he's not. He's in, we see TIE fighters and things that he didn't make up. My point is, I like the idea that he's actually trying to make it feel big. That he's trying to connect it with all these other things and to have things make sense. I can just imagine, J.J. Abrams writing The Rise of Skywalker, and he's like, well, there's just this fleet of 10,000 Star Destroyers out in the middle of space, and, the Sith Eternal have been making them, and it's well, how? And I think Tony Gilroy, when he's writing, is thinking about the how, not when J.J. Abrams writes something and he doesn't care about the how. He's doing his mystery box, and he's just throwing things in there for the story. I love this. I wish Star Wars was more like that. I wish more writers... I mean, a lot of the writers are. I'm not saying no Star Wars writers are. I'm just saying I feel like one of the problems with the sequels, one of the many, is they just wrote stuff without really considering what it meant. Whereas it sounds like Gilroy he's really trying to get into the nuts and bolts of why these things happen, or why these things work, or why something is here and there. You know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Move on to our next story today. Star Wars Tales of the Jedi revealed a new poster.
Ooh, cool. Look cool. I saw it.
Yeah. So, animation's coming back on the 26th. Soon.
I am super excited.
Soon.
More Clone Wars style animation kind of era stuff. Please don't. I mean, Clone Wars should just be something that goes on indefinitely, and you can kind of say Bad Batch is the continuation.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 6 animated shorts coming following the training of Ahsoka Tano from, literally her birth to her tale following the events of her escape from Order 66 in Season 7 of Clone Wars.
It'll be interesting to see how much contradicts with the Ahsoka
I don't
novel,
want
which
to talk
I know
about
is
that. That's a touchy point.
It is a very touchy subject.
I don't like to think that when I read something that I wasted my time.
Well, if you enjoy it.
I did enjoy it, but my enjoyment is now tarnished if it doesn't exist anymore.
No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I mean, as long as you... I mean, that's the strange thing. There's been things that I read and I don't enjoy reading it, but I feel like this was at least important to the galaxy or the overall story. And there's other times I read something, well, I enjoyed reading it, but I don't think it's very important. So I definitely agree. If you're gonna make a book or a comic, you can't just contradict it. It's really, really annoying, because it is money spent because you want to learn more, or you want another story in this cohesive galaxy. So no, I'm agreeing with you, but sometimes it is, you do have to enjoy the story in itself too.
Right. It's also going to go over the corruption of Count Dooku. So yeah, I've got the brand new poster up on the screen. I mean, we know the trailer was shown at Celebration in May, and then they finally gave it to the rest of us during D23. Ashley Eckstein is returning to voice Ahsoka. Additionally, Liam Neeson is back. He's going to be voicing Qui-Gon in his later years. His son is providing the voice of young Qui-Gon.
Very cool.
We also have the actress who voiced Iden Versio from Star Wars Battlefront 2. And, she had a small cameo, apparently, in Mando Season 2. Are they playing a different character? I don't really know. But she's playing the role of Ahsoka's mother.
Oh.
So we've got a returning voice actress. Matt Lanter is back voicing Anakin Skywalker as well. And we know we're going to see Ahsoka's encounter with the 6th brother Inquisitor from the Ahsoka novel.
Mm-hmm.
All 6 episodes are going to be dropping on the 26th, the same day as Andor Episode 8. So we've got a full Star Wars day ahead. I wish they would have maybe moved it to the next day.
Yeah, do a Thursday or Tuesday.
Yeah, just move it to a different day. Don't try and cramp Andor style.
But no, super excited for this. I hope we get more like it, too. I hope it's successful. I mean, I hope it's good, and thus, justifies more, and we do get more like it.
Yes.
Not everything needs to be, like, structured as a whole, like, series. We can, kind of like we were talking about, like, Werewolf by Night the other day. Just put something on there. Like, an hour-long story. It doesn't have to be, like, something beyond just a story.
And for those who didn't watch it, I do recommend it. I thought it was very good. We have a whole review up on it. I think it's definitely worth
Don't
the
ruin
52
the review.
minutes.
They won't watch the review, though.
Well, I'm telling them that they should.
It's good.
If you're a fan of Marvel or a little bit of the dabbling in the horror genre, it's fun. It's actually totally the opposite of She-Hulk. It feels good.
You had to take a jab at She-Hulk.
Jab.
It's not a complete video unless Naboo jabs at She-Hulk.
All right, next segment. New this week in Star Wars. Wednesday. You done now?
Yeah, I got my whole thing in. Yeah, I'm good.
Andor Episode 6 will herald the end of the second story arc for the show.
An explosive end, I'm assuming.
I expect it will be
great. It'll be interesting. Episode? Guessing.
For comics, we have Star Wars number 28. And we were getting High Republic number 1. It's the first issue from Phase 2 of the High Republic. So it's a good jumping on point if anyone wants to give High Republic a try. The new book for them just came out as well.
Yep.
And also, Star Wars Visions number 1 is coming out. It's going to further the story that was in the first episode of Star Wars Visions, The Duel, the black and white one for anyone who...
And red.
And
Sorry,
red.
I know.
Well, there was just certain things that were in color.
There were the red stuff, like lightsabers.
Like Werewolf by... No.
Spoiler alert.
So, this is going to further that story. It is going to take place before the events of the animated short, supposedly, from what I believe I read, leading into it. So
and
you'll get more information about the Ronin. Well, the book takes place after.
Yep.
This will take place before.
So you're getting the full story now.
More story is more story.
Yes. So well said. That's why they come to us for their news.
Thursday, we have the final episode of She-Hulk.
Yay.
We'll get to see
how... finally over.
Yep. And it finally got interesting.
It got okay. It was okay. I mean...
It just...
One decent episode doesn't make up for 7 previous yawn fest, at best.
Thursday will also bring us an end to Season 1 of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, where we might finally know who Sauron is.
It's Halbrand.
No,
Everybody knows it's Halbrand.
It's me. I can feel it.
It could be you.
They're going to turn to me as the audience, fourth wall break, and go,
oh my god, it's you. You've been Sauron all along. They're going to say it to the fans who've been criticizing the show. They're going to pull a She-Hulk on us. All are Sauron.
No, here's the real twist. Do you know who Sauron really is?
Who?
Galadriel.
Yeah, I knew you were going to go there.
It's not really... The one we've been hating this whole time, it's not really Galadriel. It's Sauron.
Oh my god.
She got captured in the north and never came back. Somewhere along the tracks. That's why she doesn't know that her husband's alive.
Yeah, she's like, I had a husband once. He died.
Oh, she lost him. He's not dead. She's lost.
No, I know. He's not dead.
Or he's Sauron. Sorry. Adar is Sauron.
Everybody is Sauron.
No, Adar is actually Celeborn.
I think some of those Harfoots could be Sauron.
Sadak
That's going to be the real twist. Gandalf was sent to the Harfoots to eliminate them. That's what really was going on. Because they were Sauron. Because they're evil. I still love the speech that he gives. Like, we all stick together except for when we leave each other behind.
Yeah, they are very contradictory.
Yep.
Maybe instead of saying leaving people behind, they should have been like, and these accidents befell part. I don't know. They could have...
Flowery speech it? Gotcha.
Just saying.
Doth fell behind
we should have taken their wheels. On.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right. And then Sunday is episode 9 of House of the Dragon.
Yep.
That's the week. That's all I got.
All right.
We're done here.
All right,
Have a
well,
good week.
well, in that case, that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news or what's upcoming this week. And let's talk some Star Wars and Marvel and Rings and whatever else. And until next time, thanks for watching.